Hi guys, welcome back. I am Maya with Simply Bloom. It feels so good to be back. And in case you couldn't tell, I am no longer pregnant. If you missed that video, my son was born my son was born April 5th. So exactly 1 week from today, he was born, and he is just the most precious little thing ever. Well, I was finally feeling like a little bit more myself after the delivery and stuff, and my husband has been knowing that I've been itching to get onto the garden, so he's like, I'll watch the kiddos, you go do whatever you want to do, make a quick video. And it just feels so good to be out in the sun. So I'm going to do a couple things today. First, we are going to be potting up some container dahlias. So I had a bunch of container dahlias. They're normally the dahlias that only get, I would say, like around 18 inches tall, perfect for putting in containers. I have a bunch that I saved over from last summer, and then my husband got me a present. He came home the other day, just a couple days after a baby was born. I had him go get a few errands done for me, and he came home with a surprise. So I want to show you what that is. It's a plant, in case you haven't figured it out. And then last but not least, if you were following me along, gosh, it's been a couple months ago now, we started basil by seed indoors, and I told you when it gets big enough to harvest that I would show you how to make my favorite Basil Aioli sauce. So I actually made that for breakfast this morning, so I'll show you that clip later at the end. But let's start with the dahlias. Okay, literally all I did was dig them up from the ground and plop them in this tote. I left the dirt on and everything, and they sat in my garage all winter long and kept the garage at about 40 degrees Fahrenheit. You can see the ones that are sticking out are kind of dry and like desiccated, but the ones that were protected more on the inside, those still feel fairly nice and firm. So, and I do see some new growth starting right there. I don't know if that focused for you. So pretty much what I'm gonna do is I could probably go through and separate these, divide them, but I'm not. I'm literally just gonna take some pots if they'll fit. I think if I like plop the dirt off, that will fit. Pot them up, bring them inside, and see if I can get some nice growth before it's time to actually plant them outside. All right, all potted. There was a few here that was just completely mush and rotten, so I didn't plant that, but all the other ones had at least one good tuber, and I could find some form of growth point. I have one tag. I have a Happy Days yellow, which is like my all-time favorite one out of these. Has really pretty deep olive green foliage and a yellow flower. There's another one that was the same dark green foliage with a pretty pink flower, and then there were a couple different pinks. I am going to go grab a watering can, give them some water, but as I go, I want to show you the gift that my husband got me. There it is in all of its glory. He got me a weeping pussy willow, and I am absolutely in love with it. He took the tag off. I think it's somewhere inside, but if I remember properly, this is a dwarf weeping pussy willow. It only gets about 6 to 8 feet tall. No, 5 to 6 feet tall. Around 6-ish feet tall and 5 to 6 feet wide. So I think it'll be really pretty, and I'm planning on putting it right here. So you'll see it right as you come off the driveway. Just stepped off the driveway, and then I'm gonna be putting it in front. I have 3 Mange lilacs right here. 1, 2, 3. I want to prune them into like a tree form. So it'll be like a multi-trunk into this big 12 feet tall, 12 feet wide canopy. It will be more than 12 feet wide, but and then so I'll get yay big, and then this will be one step lower in front, and then I can still plant. Eventually this will be all shade in here, so I can have really pretty like underplantings of hostas and lungworts and like lamium and all sorts of different really pretty shade loving stuff. But I think that will be so pretty. Okay, done with the dahlias. Now I did give them a good healthy drink of water, but I'm not going to water them again until I see green growth, because I don't want the tubers that are good, the remaining good tubers, to rot. Now, if your soil is already kind of damp, I would probably leave it and not give them that extra water, but the soil that was left around the tubers was like hard, petrified, like a rock. So I wanted to really loosen that soil up, get some water into it, and I will not water these again until I see some growth. So we did the dahlias, we looked at my gift. Now let's finish up with the Basil Aioli. Okay, you guys, so I began with harvesting my basil. Now, I didn't have this under grow lights, so it definitely stretched towards the window, but I just went to the lowest set of leaves and snipped it off, and look at that bouquet, so gorgeous. So for this recipe, I used 1 cup of basil. Now, I definitely stuffed this cup full of basil. It was very strong, so note to self, you don't have to cram it in there like I did. And then I'm just putting it in my little mixer blender cup. I am adding 1/2 cup of mayonnaise. You could do mayonnaise from scratch as well, but I know there's raw eggs in mayonnaise, so I prefer to just use it from the jar. When I don't know what's in there, won't hurt me. So I'm adding 1 tablespoon of minced garlic. You could use fresh garlic cloves too, but if it's not from my garden, I just buy it already diced up. And then 1 tablespoon of lemon juice. Again, you could use fresh lemons, but this is what I have at the moment. I'm gonna put the cap on and blend it up. That's literally all the ingredients it is. You can't tell, but it is a mixing here. Blend it until smooth. Sometimes you'll get a little hunk of basil leaf that doesn't blend. I personally love those, little extra flavor, in my opinion. And then, can you have basil without tomatoes? So I am dicing up some fresh little cherry tomatoes to go with my breakfast. I make this breakfast every morning if I can. It's delicious. So I am putting some of this Basil Aioli sauce onto an everything bagel. So good. You can use it on toast or even a tortilla, but I'm loving these bagels at the moment. And then I cooked up some hash browns. Half of this is for my husband, so I'm taking half the hash browns. And then I'm also going to be adding on some cheesy scrambled eggs. And then top it with some fresh tomatoes. And you guys, when I say this is the best breakfast, I mean this is the best breakfast. Okay, you guys, that is it for today. Super simple projects, but it's good for the first one back. I hope you all have a great day. Stay tuned to see me plant that weeping pussy willow. I'm so excited to get that in the ground, and I hope you all have a great day. Bye.